transformation is underway, quiet, but massive. A shift reshaping Asia and Europe's industrial core. For this video's example, I will use butadiene supply, synthetic rubber output, and feedstock flows. By 2027, Asia will remove 13.5 million tons of naphtha-based ethylene capacity, the largest rationalization in its history. Japan is removing over 25% of its naphtha-based ethylene capacity by 2030, more than 2.5 million tons. South Korea is cutting 26%, up to 3.7 million tons per year of naphtha-based ethylene. The naphtha-based ethylene crackers cannot compete with ethane-fed ethylene crackers from the US. But what are we going to do about the lack of co-products associated with switching from naphtha to ethane? Feeling lost? Let me explain. Lighter feedstocks such as ethane, propane, and butane now dominate new ethylene cracker builds. The type of feedstock can determine how much output of other co-products are created. Ethane crackers produce significantly less butadiene than naphtha units. Remember, I'm using butadiene in this example, but it applies to much more. Mainly outside of China, Asia's butadiene supply is now structurally constrained. In 2025, polybutadiene rubber, PBR, exports hit 215,000 tons, up 34%. China became a net exporter for the first time. Styrene butadiene rubber, SBR, exports rose 22%, reaching over 600,000 tons. China controls more than 35% of global butadiene capacity and over 40% of the world's tire production. Integration gives China pricing power in Asia, from feedstock butadiene to finished tires. Asia imported 87 million tons of naphtha in 2025. The Middle East supplied 55% of that volume. In early 2026, conflict choked Hormuz. Only 2 naphtha tankers passed through in the first week of March. The math doesn't add up. Northeast Asia relies on the Middle East for nearly 60% of its naphtha. The exposure is severe. Feedstock diversification becomes a strategic weapon. China shut more than 300,000 tons per year of PBR capacity as margins turned negative in Asia for months. China's integrated butadiene producers shifted strategy. Instead of turning the butadiene into rubber, China's butadiene exports rose sharply, despite years of net imports. China's 2026 to 2030 strategy is clear: consolidate global capacity and strengthen China's overall competitiveness in the petrochemical space as the global replacement. China is now the region's swing supplier. Either flood the market with products or flood the market with feedstocks. That is, if they can get the crude oil and naphtha to do so. By 2030, Asia and Europe's petrochemical map will be unrecognizable. Winners will be integrated, efficient, resilient, and if in China, state-backed. And while you're sitting here watching this video, a new petrochemical industry is being formed. The transformation isn't coming, it's already here. You've heard my take. Now what's yours? What raw material in the petrochemical industry are you most concerned about? Leave your reply in the comments below.